Hey guys, Jake here. We're at Pear Tree Ranch and we're working with Devon. This is Remy's owner and Remy is here in the stall. In the last video you saw us have Stephanie do some work, catch, halter, lead, saddle, brush, get warmed up. And today we're going to transition to having Devon do that. So are you excited, nervous, scared?
Very excited. Nervous, maybe.
Maybe. She's been watching all our videos. She's been coming for updates and seeing the process and progress. So she has awareness and understanding. We're going to work on starting to do some things and have reproducible outcomes. Okay. If you are on our Patreon, hashtag shameless plug, you'll see on there it talks about human education for reproducible outcomes or horse education for reproducible outcomes. Hero training. Learn to be your own hero. Okay. It shouldn't be my job to be your Superman and save you. I want you to save yourself and be able to do it without me. So we're going to work on that. We're going to follow the model that we've kind of done through this whole process. Catch, halter, lead. Okay, then we did some taming through different groundwork exercises, be able to brush the horse, saddle the horse, and prep to ride. So we're going to go through that process and kind of mirror the session that you've seen with Stephanie. Can we get Devon and Remy through those parts? And I'm going to be there to hold her hand through the whole process as we do that. Okay, so what we're going to start with is the catch. In the beginning of these kind of transitional lesson and sessions with the owner, what I'll work on is I call it monkey see, monkey do. Okay, so I'm the first monkey and I'm going to go in there and show, hey, this is how I catch. This is the haltering process. It helps warm the horse up, kind of get them in the mood for that. It checks the temperature. How are we doing? And then go from there to now can you do what I just did with that horse? Okay, so the catching process for her, we've done first catch means catch the mind. So we have her attention. She's acknowledged that we're here, okay, but she gets nervous with the tight space and feeling worried about what's going on. So she can come up here and check in with me. Something that we've talked about in the past is that, it's been called the horseman's handshake. Put your hand out, have them touch that. That was triggering some biting tendencies. And so I'm encouraging Stephanie and Devon, don't do that right now. Work on the pattern. So I'm here trying to have as little of my bubble in the stall as possible for her, but she needs to set herself up for where she can choose to say, okay, I'm ready for you to do the haltering. Okay, we have the catch, we have the attention. See how she's kind of gotten where she's stepped up here? This is starting to look like where I could offer her the halter. And we've built up to this, okay? If she turns her booty, I'm going to put a little pressure to just say, hey, hey, no thank you. By her moving around still, she's telling me she's working at it. If you go all the way back to the beginning, the butt all the way in the back of the stall, we're not doing that, okay? You need to step up here. Okay? Offer her that as a thing. There. So now, with that behind her ears, I can lead her forward, make sure she's ready to be with me, and practice over the nose. Okay? All right, so now let's start with the rope. So you're gonna hold, we call this our ice cream cone. You're gonna hold that, and then I can lay that over and hold it with my thumb. We're gonna take this piece, the tail on that side, to put up and over. Okay.
If I feel more comfortable putting it on her, like without holding it up and over, should I?
Nope, we're gonna do the pattern.
Okay.
That's the part where, yep, welcome to discomfort. That's where learning happens, okay? So again, you're gonna hold here. I'm gonna twist you so that the camera can see. We're gonna hold here. You got that tail. We're gonna push it up and over, okay? So when we're here, like see how she's offering to come? We're just gonna be patient here. You don't wanna go and crowd up in there. So I might cluck to say, hey, do what you're thinking. There, that's your moment. You're gonna think about step, offer this up. Yeah, good. Give her room to come. Okay. Offer. We're not chasing you. You come up here. See how she did the shoulder? That told us, come to here and push it over.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Like she goes, I'm not comfortable with you right now doing that with my nose. There, she licked and chewed. She's like, yeah, thanks, Jake. She's just saying that, okay? For her and you, she's saying, I'm not ready for that, okay?
Yeah, and a deep breath.
There, see? So by acknowledging and understanding what she's trying to communicate to us in that moment, we're going to go, hey, I hear you. I hear you. Thank you very much. Well, I'll just step here and do it, okay? Now, it already, just by doing that little bit of time and acknowledging that, started to change where we could kind of come here and rub, okay? So see if you can. I see you. Good
Now,
job.
do the neck.
See how she kind of, it changed?
Yes.
It went from rub me here to now rub me here.
Okay.
So you're just going to take that, okay? There. So see, now she's saying, good. It's still for you, the neck. So you're going to step to the
Even
white
though
spot.
she's backing up. Should I click at all?
No, let me run the clicker. Okay. Thank you. I hear you. You're doing just fine, child. There. Now, to the white mark. This hand, if you're there, go ahead. There, that's okay. And that's like, there's going to be moments of this that we're going to be late on the timing because it has to happen. I have to be able to process it, verbalize that. There's like seconds that it takes to do that. And then for me to see it, process it, get it out my mouth, it's at least a second. And that means it takes at least another second for you to hear it, process it, and get. So we're 2 seconds past the moment. There's no big deal with that. Okay?
And I can recognize that. Do you want me to make her move or wait?
I want you to wait. Make sure we're doing it together. What'll happen is the more you and I work together, I'll see you see it and feel good, and I'll say, yeah, go ahead. Okay? Yeah. Okay. There's the shoulder. Yeah, and if she does, just give her a chance to come back. Good job. Okay, see if you can't. Don't go here, go here.
Even with the rope?
You can do with the rope. Because she'll tell you, because if she lets you, like if I can take this rope and rub her here, like see how it's there? Bloop, there it goes.
It's just getting used to me again.
Yeah. There you go. Yep. That's it. Good. Now you kind of got her. So now you can...
I let go.
That's okay. That's part of it. So now you ought to be able to step here, take the rope, say, come here. Okay? You do. There. Okay? Now, no. See how this is where you got grabbed?
Yeah.
This has got to go up and over.
Okay, let go of the rope.
Let go of that.
Sorry.
Okay, hold it. There you go. Up and over. There you are.
Good girl. Am I doing it all the way?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This is that spot where it's like, cool, we just did all of that work. She's
go.
like, yeah. It's like, cool, get it on and let's get out of here. Let's move on so she doesn't feel like she did anything wrong. It was hard enough for her to be like, why are you not moving on?
Can I pet her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, what I want you to feel is there's a difference between and this. Okay? So make sure that when you rub her, we got to learn to rub her in a way that she feels good about it. Okay? And it needs to be kind of slower and easier. Slower and easier. There, see? See the difference? Slow and easy. If we think about, you got to hear that sound, slow and easy. The way that looks on a wavelength is really slow versus, oh, it's okay, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do it's too fast. The vibration of that, okay, so energy is measured in frequency, okay, at wavelength, and how does that look? And so if we're humming too hard and we get in here and we're like, oh, what a good horsey, and we're rubbing, it's too much. So when we can turn that down on our insides, slow and easy. that slow wavelength kind of helps them synchronize and come down versus feeling that energy. They don't understand it. They just know that amount of energy means intensity, and intensity usually means, oh shit, we're gonna have to run or fight.
Right.
Okay. All right, great. What we're gonna do here is we're just gonna reposition the camera. We're gonna lead out and head for the prep area so we can start going over brushing, saddling, and move to the round pen. So what we're talking about as we position to lead and go here is kind of fits in the Cesar Millan talks about no talk, no touch, no eye contact. Ignore the horse, okay? And when in doubt, stop and kind of shoo her back to keep distance. You're at about half of that lead rope. That's a 12-foot lead, so that means 6 feet. If you could get where you could lead her from there and have her stand back, you're actually safer, okay?
Right.
People think they have more control up close. We're safer further away. Okay. So we're not worrying about eating. If she wants to eat, let her eat. Okay. She's been in the stall, like she had her breakfast and had hay and all that stuff. But if she wants to eat, just let her eat for a second. She's not hurting anything. It's like I'll say with my son, you know, or any kid, if they need a hug or a cuddle, I always got time for that stuff.
Right.
Okay. Now it might have to be quick. But it's like, if you need that thing that gives you a bit of comfort so we can move on and be better, do it now. You won't have to do it so much later. And so if she wants to stop and have a little nibble right now, it's not hurting anything. Give her that moment. 3, 2, 1, take a deep breath, and then let's go. That didn't rush it off. It wasn't saying no. It's like, sure, we can do that, but we might not do it forever.
Okay.
Okay? Okay. So you're going to just come up here and hand me that rope, and then I'm going to show you, make sure you know this knot that we use to tie. We have our basic horse stuff playlist on the old YouTube, and this knot is on there. This is kind of my favorite knot, so we're going to put it over. Okay. Most people need to tie shorter than they think. It's going to actually keep the horse safer. So right there, she can have her chin below her withers. And a horse needs that to be able to clear the lungs, but you don't need them any longer than that. Okay. So we're going under, over, bunny ear it through. Okay. And then you can just pull that part and it makes it taut. And then to put a lock on it so the horse can't pull this bit and untie themselves, take the tail, put it on top, drop it through. It's a half hitch. Okay? So that's something that you can practice. So what we're going to do now is just kind of spend some time grooming on her. So we can sit here and pick shavings out of her mane and rub on her. And what I want you to do is, one, kind of listen to her if she has spots, but don't like make a spot by being overly hesitant.
Okay.
Okay. And so we need to be able to come in here and just act like she's a normal horse now. Now, she's never going to be just a normal horse. She's always going to have had a tough spot in her life. And if we don't want to keep bringing it up, it's like, hey, remember that one time you pooped your pants in 3rd grade? It's not very nice, right, to keep bringing it up. It's like, I know, and I apologize, and I'm embarrassed still, you know, and I'm 40-something. How do we kind of quit bringing up the stuff? But, you know, you also got to remember, man, that one time when I waited too long, that was no bueno, so don't do that. Okay, same thing for her. We know she kind of has spots, and so we just go, great, well, I'm ready as I can be for that without being hesitant and making her feel like I'm being weird.
Okay.
Okay. And if I'm kind of rubbing here and just work my way around and she moves, we've established, hey, no, bring your butt back over here. And if we need to, just boop, we can tap it. There. Till she gets herself settled back in. Okay. And through this process, it's going to be new and it's going to be different. Like even when we did it with Steffi, I was stood back and away. It's like, you're in the bubble, Bray holding the cameras in the bubble, now I'm in the bubble, Rochelle's watching over there, waiting for her lesson bubble. Like, we've got everybody here. It changes the intensity of the moment for the horse, even though nobody's really doing anything and got sneak attack planned for her, but she doesn't know the difference. And so we got to be a little bit understanding of those little changes and get her used to all the different energies, right? Just like, oh, the neighbor's mowing over there, and, you know, oh, the wind's blowing, and I hear people hooting and hollering over there at their horse as they don't know we're filming. And it's like, yep, that stuff's just going to happen. It's called life. So as long as we're prepared and patient, we can be ready. Okay?
Okay.
So you start at the withers, take your time, and rub. And there's a difference between, like, step to her wither. See how you're at her nose and her neck? You bumped her backwards. It's the white spot. Don't be hesitant and sneaky. Just put your hand up there and rub her on the white spot. That makes sense? Like, you got to get the touch there so that she realizes, oh, it's the same. Okay? Just rub. Just go. Just go. Be progressive.
With the
Yes, all the yeses. Okay? Don't act like it's a thing. So you don't act sneaky or creepy. Like, she's going to go, I don't understand about that. And you're just like, understand about what? I'm brushing you, horsey. If we can kind of have that playful nature. Now, you're obviously need to, at the same time, be understanding.
Right.
Okay? But when she flinches, if you can kind of not get flinched by her and go, oh, that's weird. Kind of work on your Janice laugh from Friends.
Okay.
That's how we kind of can help her not buy into it. Like, yeah, we heard her snort and it's like, oh, that's weird, horsey. Kind of play dumb. We don't get sucked into that as a thing. Like, see, now you could see out of the corner of your eye, her head starting to lower. She's starting to go, oh, okay, that wasn't a thing.
Now, when you like, do you click her to move to the other side, or do you just?
I'm going to try to, like, rub with the brush or put my hand and rub, and like you would a normal horse, right? You kind of put your hand on your butt when you walk around behind them, so they just kind of feel you going. And if I can do that, a lot of times it'll help her. And you saw, like, even this morning, she was like, oh, I'm not maybe ready right now for that. It's like, cool. Then I'll work on the, hey, bring your butt back here. But if she stood still, I'd like to just walk around her and not make it a thing.
Okay.
Okay? See how it was like, it's just like a normal horse.
Right. Yeah. And she doesn't have that ripple in her eye.
Yeah. Yeah, great job.
Thanks.
And this is going to take time for you to build your confidence. This is going to take time for her to get used to you. But you do have relationship. Okay, we were talking about that right before we started to film, that it's like you made effort and you had bonding with this horse.
Right.
Okay? It's not like you're a knucklehead and you know nothing about horses. You've put time in, you know about riding, you know these things. This is just more horse than what you're used to or were prepared to do all the things.
100%.
You ask for help, right? And that's what we're here for, is we're here to offer help and be supportive of people when they get in over their head. And or they maybe just don't have the time to do all the things.
Right.
Okay? And we can then help bridge that gap where we can bring the horse to a better spot and then bring you up to a spot where we can kind of put the two back together. And that's what we're starting to do today, right? How can we get you and her back together? Not like you were never together. You had stuff working where you could get her haltered, get her led, get her brushed, get things going. Okay, you even had sat on this horse. We just know as we were trying to be progressive, it was falling apart.
Right.
Okay? It wasn't getting better, it was starting to get worse. And so that's where we've come into the picture. Good. This will be something that you'll just have to spend hours.
Right.
Again, we were talking about the idea of you don't get to go to the gym, do 1 rep, and magically you're swole or skinny or whatever. Okay, it's a massive amount of sets and reps within those sets to do things. And so we're working on reps with this horse of getting caught, getting haltered, getting brushed, getting saddled, getting mounted, getting rode, all these things to where she is so good at knowing what to expect, we can increase the intensity. Same thing. You go to the gym and you might spend weeks of doing the 20-pound dumbbells, and all of a sudden you get a good set with the 25s. That's progressive. You've increased the intensity. And then a few weeks go by and maybe all of a sudden you're touching the 30s and it's working. You get where you can get a few reps in a good set with that more intense thing. And we build ourselves up. If you do it too hard, too fast, that's when we get sore and we're hurt at the gym, and we can do damage versus create strength and conditioning. Same thing with our mental and emotional fitness, just like our physical. Okay, you just walk right in there. Her job is to kind of follow. You have lots of lead rope, so you can let that slip and slide as you go. So what we're going to look at here, we're going to go back to our kind of monkey see, monkey do.
Okay.
We need to look at this as a vector. Okay, so there's a line over here and a line over here. It creates 2 boundaries that the closer it gets, the tighter it gets, the further back it gets, the wider it gets. So if she's bothered, she has somewhere she can go. Okay, she can either funnel up in here and come right to me to get rubbed, or she can back off and stay back there and away. Okay, and if we needed to give her the whole rope, great. If we needed to and she starts to get bothered and running around, we could put her back against the fence, okay, where that way, if the fence is here, she can't just run by us and get wound up in a circle. Okay, when horses turn, it turns on their brain. So now, if she's kind of giving us the come rub my shoulder sideways, I'm going to just kind of bump her back to where it's like, no, we can start having some expectation of her making effort to stay straight on to us. Okay, we allowed that early on to get something working, but now that we have something, we progressed to being straight, and we can kind of hold her accountable there. Okay, and so you can use this. If we put it out in front, it can move the point of this vector off and up my body, so it's not up in here where she could get tight and we feel nervous about when she gets all that presence and comes up and in here. Okay, we can offer that out there. Now, when we do this vector and do the stick, 1, 2, 3, don't make me shush your noggin, we like that she's lowering the head and getting the tips of her ears below the withers. Okay, she doesn't need to drag her nose in the dirt. Okay, but I like that if I were to shush and say, hey, how low can you go? That I can start to put it down there if I said put it down there. Now, when it gets that low, what you can start to see is some tension get released out of the neck. So we can shush that on her nose. See how there's still tuck in her chin. I want to see her stretch and lengthen all of these muscles. And what you'll see is behind her ears, that'll start to stretch, and you'll almost see the halter slide a little bit forward. Not over there. Good girl. Better. And we'd like to have it work where I just went 1, 2, 3, don't make me shush your noggin. That's a pattern.
Okay.
So I want you to be able to stand here confidently relaxed. 1, 2, 3, don't make me shush your noggin.
Okay. So do that, not the nose piece first, right? I heard you.
Yes.
Okay.
We're going to kind of go right to 1, 2, 3. We're kind of working the pattern. 1, 2, 3. Don't make me shush your noggin. Perfect. Great job.
Good girl.
Okay.
Do I give her a second to think about it?
Yes, you can just kind of like, that was her acknowledging the pattern and going, I did it. Okay. Now, doing it and committing to it and staying there, those are two different things, right? And so we need to be understanding of, well, that was a good start. That's not where we want to finish forever. But for the first time, you touching the rope and doing that, like, yay, we're winning. Okay.
Yeah.
So now let's go again. 1, 2, 3. Don't make me shush your noggin. There.
Oh.
Okay, and there, that's fine. See how you kind of got ready with the stick, and she was like, whoop, and started to put it down, and she even was thoughtful and just took a little step back. She's not running away, she just gave you a little bit of space. Okay?
Now, when she pulls it back up, do I just let it be? Just because we're...
Right now, yes. And we asked the question, why is she doing that? She's coming up to really look. Okay, when she gets here, it gets harder for her to see us the way the lenses of the eye on a horse works.
Okay.
And that's part of the thing when they can turn loose and kind of have their head there and not have to like look right at us, they're settling. Okay, like I clearly have her attention right now by me moving around and like, see, I start moving around and talking. She's like, oh, there you are. Okay, that's a good thing. That's what we want. But every time you kind of, the flag wiggles over there, she's thought about, not in a worried way, executing a pattern of, oh, maybe I need to put my head down and relax. It tells us where she's at. Okay, this bare minimum groundwork list tells us where the horse is at. It's a measuring stick. Okay. It's like checking the temperature. So we know that she's, one, pretty settled, like she's not snorty and all wound up, because she can put her head down and do that, even with you first time touching and doing that. Okay, it's not all the way settled because she just hasn't put it down there and kind of taken a nap. Okay, but there again, there's things going on. The neighbor is mowing. There's people watching here. There's new. Like as soon as I start moving around, she's just being attentive, but she's not being snorty and worried.
Right.
Okay, so it kind of gives us a gauge of where are we at. And see, by not doing anything, now she's like, oh, what if I just do the thing again? Put my head down.
Yeah.
Okay, you feel good about that?
I do, actually.
Good. All right, what we're going to do next is we're going to do sideways along the fence, relax with our head down. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the rope and you're going to go put the rope on the fence. This puts the human in position of where we need to be.
Okay.
Okay, and it wasn't about the horse. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
I did my job. Now, what has she done? Her job. She went over here, got by the fence so she could be in position to do it. Okay? So this is just going to create a boundary, and the boundary is going to start to come and move towards her. If she doesn't move, oh crap, I might shake the flag a little bit. Now, I want you to get really good at doing your Bernie dance. Okay, you got to get real weekend at Bernie's and let your arms hang so that it's like you have a heavy suitcase and walk. That keeps us from putting tension. What are we doing, horsey? And we get all this tension in our pulling muscles, okay, in our biceps and in our arms. So when I can just push that to her and have this arm hang down and straight, like it's got a heavy suitcase in it, she's just backing off the fence to not run into Ray, who's sitting up there. I can start encouraging her to head that direction and then just do my job, which is stay close to the fence where I could touch it. That way I don't get out there chasing after her. And she can find a way to get comfortable to step up to the fence and go forward, relaxed with her head down. Good girl. And it might take me 10 laps around this round pen to get to where I want it to be. And if I can be really comfortable with, yep, I might have to take that long, I don't get worried about it. Like do 10 laps and see what happens versus being in a hurry to reward the slightest try is the thing. So we get these horse people that all of a sudden the horse does anything and they're quitting. Well, maybe that wasn't the best spot to quit on. We've swung the pendulum. We're a little bit too ready to release at times versus really it's the horse's job to release themselves. by fitting in the space. And as long as I'm not pulling on the rope, I've got my hand down here and relax. You can take your thumb, hook it in your pocket, okay? And then I'm moseying, right? I'm not rushing as we go along here. Out for a little stroll till she can start to find her way forward and relaxed, right? And that just tells us the saddle's tickling her. The whole point of doing all this groundwork, right? We talked about our measuring stick. So how is this measuring up? Well, she's just not there yet. No big deal. We can see that. So instead of fretting and go, oh no, it's not perfect, it just means it's not there yet. I don't know about you, but I like brownies. But if you've ever changed a baby's diaper, brownie batter and a full diaper can kind of look like the same thing. So till that brownie batter gets all the way cooked and you can smell the chocolate, you might not be so sure. So process and product, two different things. And the process doesn't always look like the product.
Sorry.
You're right.
So is it better to do around the round pin like this versus letting her, you know, move her feet and, you know, lunge a little bit?
And why would that be?
Because I don't know. You're not trying to burn her out. I mean, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. And so here's the answer. It's a great question. If I do sideways along the fence, relax with the head down, what is the fence doing?
Stopping her from going forward?
Stopping her from going too forward, out of control, and crazy.
Okay.
Versus if you get to going on a circle, it's very easy for a horse to get wound up and overdo it. And now they're pulling on the rope, you're maybe pulling on their face, and it can turn into chaos really quick.
Okay.
So it's much easier to get some relaxed forward started doing sideways. There's only hot lava over there, child. And a horse has to be much more thoughtful when they go forward with some lateral in them.
Okay.
There we go. So that's a big change, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
For a long ways. So that's where I'd go, sweet. It got very obvious that we kind of had a change. So then it's like, great, I'm going to quit. Okay.
So her stopping a lot of the times is her just checking in to see, are we done yet?
Just feeling it out, right? She's not confident to go, good girl, go relaxed and forward. And so we just hear her when she's doing that, her stopping, her sucking back. That's what tells us if I get on and try to ride her when she's doing that, probably going to get bronking.
Right.
Going to get bothered versus when she can get kind of freely forward, head down, relaxed, and with some lateral in there, that's a way better look. Like I'd like to ride that, not sucking back and me kind of having to shush the flag and do a lot to get forward.
Okay.
Okay, that's how we get in trouble. Again, it's the measuring stick.
Mm-hmm.
So when we see it start to measure up, we go, great. That's starting to look like something I would like to ride and is rideable. Okay, I'm not trying to win any bucking horse contests anytime soon. So I'd like her to get in a spot where she can make it easy for me to ride her. Mm-hmm. Same thing. She needs to make it easy if we're going to get you on there and get you riding her.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So that's just one direction that I got it started and was able to kind of give you some theory and pieces behind it. Why don't you come and you're just going to go the same direction.
I've never done anything this before, even with my other horses.
Okay.
Just so you know.
So we're going to take this hand. I'm going to turn so the camera can see you. And we're going to push down. Okay. You can take this finger and push down on the lead rope. Mm-hmm. And then we want to be careful about how we hold the rope. we can hold it softly with these knuckles flexed and these knuckles here, see how they're very straight? When I break those, it's now like I've gotten grabby. Rawr, rawr, rawr. Okay, and if I grab you like that, that can start to feel real creepy and weird. Versus if I soften that part, I could hold your hand. That can start to feel like, oh, this is nice. Okay, but as soon as I start wrapping them fingers and getting a hold of you, that gets creepy and weird quick. Okay, nobody wants to do that. Okay, especially with a horse. So if we can hold that rope, okay, here, and have this pushing feel on that rope, it helps. There you go. Feel that? Just, it can help them melt. And you feel what that does in your shoulder and back. It's like, oh, this feels much freer. Okay, versus if we do this, we hold all this tension. Okay, now, we got that, and you want to stay where you could take that hand and put it on the fence at any time. That one keeps you close where it doesn't accidentally teach them. If I go out here to chase them, I'm going to run them in between me and the fence and maybe run them over the top of me on accident because I opened that door on accident. Okay. And then this hand and the stick, we're going to think about, it's going to push. Feel how you can push from here and then pivot that around there. Okay. This is going to catch the nose neck here. Okay, you're going to walk to the fence. And then this is going to move in a horizontal plane. There.
And do I stop or do I wait until she gets
right
down?
there, this can start to melt. Feel how I'm, there you go. Feel how that fell from right here? Okay, so we want to lift from the shoulder and then put, yeah. There you go.
And do I stop when she does that?
You're going to wait for her to get a little bit of rhythm and flow. Yep, you're doing just fine. Think about horizontal plane, like sprinkler dance. There you go. You're doing great.
Am I putting any tension in the lead rope?
You're going to hold that strong, but you'd like to keep, you're not trying to pull her up here.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yep, just keep going. More, not up and down. Horizontal plane. There you go. And keep a walking. There. Easy, easy, easy.
Sorry.
She was going, right?
I was thinking about myself.
You're doing great. You're doing great. Stay patient with yourself, just like you're very patient with this horse. Great. Take your time now. Take your time. Easy. Take your time. Just keep walking. See how she didn't need any more pressure? She just needed time? Now, that's way farther than she's gone with you and her yet, right?
Right.
So let's just stop.
Good girl.
There. Perfect.
Do I let her?
Yeah, you bet. Right? Because she did it thoughtfully. If she makes you, like, if I go like this, she's like, that feels creepy quick. It's like, whoa, don't do that to me. Right. That's, if you feel that from her, just like me, you can go, hey, whoa, cowboy, you just stand on back. That's a little bit too much. You had too much garlic, okay? That's what we're looking. You can just, hey, you're good. But see, now she's being thoughtful, so I might step there and offer to rub her softly between the eyes. There you go.
Okay.
Up high, yes, good. And the reason, again, we're doing the up high is we're trying to not get our hand down here where we've seen that she's told us that it makes her nervous down there, and it kind of had a pattern before of touch your hand, try to nip. Okay, so if we just stay up there, she can be either tell you, yes, please rub me there. Like, see how soft? That's so nice that you can do that with her now. And she's just like, ah, melted to your touch. Okay, or she could turn away and say, you can touch me here. Like,
is that fine. What she's telling me now?
It might be.
Okay.
It might be. And now, again, you want to know how to find out? Just offer to rub her in between the eyes. And if she takes it away, then you just rub her neck. She might bring her face back, and then you rub her on the face. Okay? There, see? So it could have just been that the horse is called and she looked around. It could just be she's seeing what's going on.
So with her being so sensitive, if she doesn't turn and like offer it, should I not even try to attempt right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's the thing is we have to be mindful that Are cookies nice for horses? Are carrots nice for horses? Are cuddles nice for horses? Yes, of course. But they don't need that. They really appreciate being left the heck alone. Plenty of times. And I've seen more horses that have problems because we've over-cuddled, over-coddled, over-cookied versus, you know, the ones that have been over-whacked with a stick, you just rub them more and they kind of start to getting over it. Okay, the over-coddled ones, you got to do the yuckier thing now and follow through with the stick more, and nobody likes doing that. It's not fun, especially because now they've become over-tame and disrespectful of our space, or not thoughtful, if we want to use that word instead. So there you go. See how she just kind of did it nice, like, you can rub me here too now.
That was fun.
Right?
That was cool.
It feels great when she can do that for you. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to step behind you. Okay. You're going to switch hands with the flag. I'm going to take...
Am I putting it behind me?
Yes. Okay. So we're just going to show everybody else so they can see. I could take... So she's got the rope and the flag in this hand like this. Okay? She can put the rope here, take the flag like this, and do the old up and over. Okay? Then you can bring it behind you to push her to come over here. Okay.
And I'm already at the fence. So
and you're already at the fence. Okay, so you've got the rope in your left hand. Yes, you can do that. Yep. Okay, I'm going to squeeze behind you. Okay, so you can take that right hand, take a hold of the stick, and you're going to come up and over. Good. I'm just going to slip out the back here.
Good girl.
Okay, it's all you. Okay. So you're going to push with the handle bit to push the nose and neck first. There she goes. And then you just kind of walk. Yes. Yep. And walk as you kind of do it.
Keep doing it.
That's going to put a little bit of tension into the rope. Yep. Now, let's freeze right there. Here's what we're going to do. When you step forward into that rope, there's going to come a moment where you guys are going to see in a second when we step past her, the rope will get taut, okay? Here, let me demo it, and they'll see, and then she's connected to you. If I step here, I can take this with my stick hand, take the rope. Now I'm shorter. Now I can lead her up here.
Okay.
Okay? And when I'm here, if I step, see, it brought the rope to me. I didn't have to stop and do all these little releases where this said move. Technically, she's leaning on pressure. Good girl. I know you're not leaning. You're a good girl. Okay? That, if she didn't step forward off of that little bit of feel of the lead rope, to not release on accident and teach her to lean worse, that's where that little move where I can reach and take the shorter bit, I know you're being very good. Okay? Can help with that. Okay? I'm going to sneak back behind you. You step that hand to the fence. Yes. Great move with the stick and the handle. It was very, very good. Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yep, and you just put the flag up. Yeah, that was so slick. Take your time. Think about smaller increments of progressive with the flag. So how little can you jiggle it before you get too much with it? There you go. Yes. Now let it slip and slide as you go.
Good
there
girl.
She goes.
Good girl.
There she goes. There she goes. So there's 2 steps. There's 3, 4, 5, 6. See how that's a lot more? So I might just freeze and smile at her.
Good girl. That was great.
Great job. And you did that side all by yourself.
Yeah.
And that just shows, 1, healthy patterns from the horse, and 2, when you stick to that thing and don't make too big of a deal, she was allowed to work and find her way there. You mostly encouraged her. It feels way better to say I encouraged her versus I pressured her.
Right.
Okay? And that's what really we're looking for.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Good job.
Thank you.
Okay. What we're going to do next is we're going to move on to, you could just keep doing this, and this already is a big win.
Right.
That makes sense? Like, we could be done right now. We're going to kind of keep going because we only get so much time with you to do this. So we're going to move on to the circle. We're going to finish doing the bare minimum. We've got the circle, and then we'll do, we've already done a little bit of backing. We'll do a little bit more. and then we'll do our horse burpees, the old rope behind the horn move.
Okay.
Okay? So you stay right there on the fence. I'm going to step with her to the middle. Again, we'll do monkey see, monkey do. And we just learned about being really good at doing that sprinkler dance, right? Horizontal plane. If I go like this, yeah, horsey, yeah, horsey, that never is going to run into the horse. Like science, physics, like that's not running into the horse. Okay, the plane of that from there, full wind up and full pitch, that's never going to run into her. I don't want her to think that means move. Technically, that's teaching her a lie. Okay, but if I hold this up and swirl my way around here, that's run into her now. So it could start tapping softly. First her nose, then her neck, then her shoulder. Good girl. Then her ribs and hip follow. So if I can just swirl around here with that flag, like I was in chest deep water and this was a paddle, it's going to push that water. She'll feel that water getting to her with some energy, that whoosh, before the paddle gets there. Now, if she doesn't recognize that means move, well, she'll run into the paddle, and that's less fun, okay? So now, she's got a little bit of energy. That's fine. That's why we did the sideways first, to not have too much energy. She's allowed to stop as many times as she kind of wants to stop. Good girl. But now she went from throwing the brakes on, throwing the brakes on, throwing the brakes on to offering forward. And so I said, hey, thank you for that. Like, that's what we need, her more ready to offer forward. And that's, we don't want her taking over and throwing the brakes on, just like I don't want her taking over the forward. So as we move into this slowly, we just keep setting it up to release her to forward. So we build up some pressure, but then release her to that forward so she can find her way to start to go confidently and relaxed. I hear you. So she's kind of saying the saddle is starting to loosen up a little bit here. So we're going to just adjust this. A lot of times, depending on a horse's shape, when they move like she does with a higher head carriage while we're getting her to learn to be able to walk trot canter one day with her head down and relaxed, they'll get hollow behind the withers there in their back, and it can make it easy when they get into motion. So she stood still here, saddle felt snug. But no, push on top of me, please. Thank you. But when she's starts moving, she makes it where the saddle, thank you, can start to slip back. And so I could see that starting to happen. So it's like, this is a horse that would let the saddle run right off the back of her and run right out through the cinches. There you go. So that's some of her, no thank you. And so I'm just blocking her, no thank you, don't come over me. There. And I'm going to spend more time going to the right. That's her harder way to balance out her overconfidence to put me on the left side. See how that got easier?
Yeah, it's amazing.
So she's just telling me, hey, it's getting ready to slip back, and I can feel it's going to slip if I keep going. So she's trying to communicate there. There you go. Good job. And again, I'm kind of putting up the bubble of like, you just stay right there, please. And she's kind of begging, please rub me there. It's fine. Just there. See how she was more thoughtful? Not too fast coming in. Just take your time here. All right, your turn. Girl. Okay, this hand is going to stay down. A lot of us have learned this lead to send them. What happens though is we get our bodies out of control, and then this arm starts flying off the handle every time we want a horse to go forward. So they start to put the brakes on, and we get this like twitch going on. We got to get ourselves under control and just keep that relaxed. A lot of times, again, I'll go here, okay, and that just keeps this hand hooked. It also keeps the length of rope the same. If you look at the difference of the length of rope there, okay, hold it snug. Okay, there's the end of the rope. Now let your thumb out of your pocket and let your arm move. Look how much extra rope I just got. Now you're being inconsistent to the horse, and they don't know where the end of the rope is, so how are they supposed to stay within the boundaries? The boundary's constantly changing when our arm can move too much. So if we can get comfortable here, it's helpful for that horse. That's a consistent then length of rope for them to work in. Okay?
So I'm just moving her feet with the flag.
Yes, and so then this is going to come again. This can push nose, neck. Now we can say shoulder. And this just swirls around here. There. Okay? And if she'll move out here, keep your feet still, one pivot foot. So we can turn, but not chase the horse by having a pivot foot. There you go. And what she's going to start to find is if she can get to 180 degrees away from the stick.
Am I, like, when you let go and she does what I asked her, I put the flag down?
I want you to feel 180 degrees. See how I held you back a little bit? Wait.
Yeah.
There, 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 there. See how she kind of got to a bit of a balance point? See how she's at 180 degrees away from, if you look down on this circle from where that flag is? That's balanced. If she goes any further, she's running her nose into the flag, okay? And so that would be in the way of her forward. But if she doesn't stay ahead, the flag's going to start catching her butt. So she has to find, when I set the speedometer on me spinning on the inside, there's a speed that if she just maintains that at 180 degrees, that stick will never run into her butt and it's never running into her nose. That's perfectly balanced. Okay? Now, I'll work a horse depending on what they need. More confidence with the flag on their butt, where it can be right on their butt and rub them and now tap them and then rub them and then tap them. Just like I'll use two sticks and drive a horse to get their nose right on that stick. So as soon as I stop, they have to be more on the brakes. But you don't start there. That's something to build them up. Where she's at, getting confident at 180 degrees and feeling that flow and synchronization is really important for her. Okay? So now you're just going to switch hands. We're going to go the other direction. Nice work. You're doing great. Super. Okay. Yes, hand down. When you're ready, I'm just going to be close that I can support you if you need me. Yes. And just bring this up and push. Keep this pivot. There you go. Feel how that arm wanted to get going. It's not wrong. We just need to recognize that many of us have gotten out of control with that.
Am I still keeping my arm up?
I want you to keep it up so that you can learn to feel 180 degrees and feel comfortable that this could just be here and pivot. Now keep this foot right here pivoted. All right, did you ever watch Friends? Pivot! Pivot! There you go. Doing great. You're doing great.
Thank you.
You're doing great. Great work. Yes, 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 yes. Feel how that flow is starting to come?
Am I letting her stop to, like,
no.
Should I be more on it?
No, okay. I don't want you to rush there. I'd rather she offer to stop. Like, that's way better than running off. So now, here's that move. You can take this knee and scoop that rope, grab here, shorten here, and then go. That make sense? There's a little ninja move there you can do. Yes, great work. Just be patient. Keep this one down. Yep, and just let that flag work. There you go. Good job fixing your pivot foot. I didn't even have to say it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's good with her head down. So you might see how you push when you step to her, you push slack in the rope.
Yes.
So there you go. Yeah, yeah, ninja moves. Super job. Yep. And then you can let the rope slide once she gets going again. Ooh. Yep, that's fine. You just slap her with it. That's her problem for standing there. There she goes. There, feel how she's feeling the flow?
Mm-hmm.
Now I'd quit. Perfect. That's what we're looking for. Nice. Flow. There, see how nice that is? And you can choose. If you want to rub her on the shoulder, great. If you want her to square up, you can kind of invite her to do that. Good. Great job.
Good girl. Thank you.
You did super. Okay, so we got 2 more moves to do to finish our bare minimum groundwork. I'd love to leave you here for an hour and just let you rub on her, but the video's running. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hold on this knot here. I'm gonna, remember how I did my knuckles, push my hand down. I can hold that rope to keep it from dragging in the dirt there with my thumb, and that way if she pulls her head away, I still have some lead rope there, okay? And then I'm gonna get all weakened at Bernie's and just kind of walk into her. Where I want, like see how she's pulling against my hand? I want her to let that, just the weight of my arms, just hang there. And when that starts to crowd her find her way back, okay? That's what we're wanting to kind of have not happen. So it's like, cool, she just told us again where she's at. That as I crowd, she had trouble keeping her nose down. There's a change. So I'm gonna release that. She's like, I'm trying to put my head down. Good girl. I'll just push that into her. Okay. So let my arms hang and then just kind of crowd into her. And if she's pulling her head up, I'm going to push my hands down with my triceps. See how she can get where now that's floaty. There's not any feel holding her head down. Okay. That's where we're looking to get.
Okay.
If I'm pulling on her, I'd keep putting tension. But when she gets where that hand can just stay and hang, everything kind of floats. Okay? So that's a great way to kind of feel that they're finding how to hold their own head down and then just kind of float backwards soft with their feet. Okay? And then also looking at this. So if they do throw their hair, don't get your arm jerked. That's fine. Let it go. You've got this. Reset. Go again.
Okay.
Okay? Just telling you got to keep working.
I can drop this.
I'll take it. Keep it out of the mud.
Oh, sorry. All right. I heard you. Let's see if I can register it.
Okay, so you did great with holding the rope on your thumb here. So then you just take these fingers and you'll go here and you're thinking about push down and you're wrapping your knuckles around that knot. A little more forward. You want that
up here. There.
And then you keep these knuckles here flexed like this.
Okay.
There you go. So that you don't grab with them. There, feel that? It feels awkward. You got to kind of practice working at that.
Now I'm just backing her.
And then you're just going to kind of step into her like you're crowding her. And if your arm can just stay straight, relaxed and down, and she can just melt backwards like that, that's everything that you're looking for.
Am I down enough?
Yes.
Her head is what?
Okay. And what would happen if you asked it to go more?
That's good.
Yeah, right? And that's kind of a tell. If I say more, and she, okay, then I know I've really got it. If I say more and she's like, nope, I'm not doing it, now I'm starting to go, cool, I don't have as much commitment as I want. That makes sense? Okay, so that's just a simple little way that I might work on backing. Why don't you do one more rep of that?
Okay.
That should feel nice. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay? Super job. Super job. Okay? Now, last on our list, we're going to do what I call our horse burpees. We're going to take the rope. I can hold here so that when I put over her head, If she starts to anticipate, she doesn't spin before I'm ready.
Okay.
Okay, so I can hold that there while I put that here. I could do little things where I practice, you know, flipping this rope around, and that's kind of a taming, confidence building thing. Like if she cannot read this as about her, okay, now that she's set, I can kind of let that go, and I'm just gonna slide this shorter and shorter and lift up. And it's like doing a little dance move. If we're dancing and I twirl you, okay, good job. Again, I could hold here. If I was worried about him rushing, this can kind of help him find confidence so I can spend more time rubbing. If they're rushing or hurrying, hurry rhymes with worry. Great way to help with a horse that gets worried is you got to spend more time rubbing on them. There, see? I just kind of giving her that. She goes, phew, okay. And then I can draw on that. Nose, neck, shoulder, ribs, hip. Okay?
Okay.
Your turn. Super. Okay, and just sit still. Lift it up. Good.
She stepped on it. I was like,
It's all right. You did great. Okay, hold the part with by the snap with one hand. There you go, and then put that over. That's fine. Just lead her forward and say, hey, nobody meant back up. Yeah. Yes, good job. Yep. Great job feeling your way in there. It was very thoughtful of you. Now just stand there and rub her.
Atta girl.
Okay. When you're ready, shorter and shorter on the rope.
Oh, wrong way.
That's fine. This is part of the puzzle. Super.
Good girl.
All right. We're going to stop right there because you achieved all the bare minimum. We did catch, halter, lead. We brushed her. We got saddling done. We learned about tying. We learned about saddling. We did all of our bare minimum groundwork. This was a big session and a big day. It's a big win on kind of getting you and her put back together. Yes. Share something that you're going to take away from today or that you learned.
Being too quick. Recognizing that early on.
Good.
And you've helped me build confidence because
Good.
Seeing you do it and then her letting me do it is a big barrier that I was worried about coming in and just haltering her. And I knew once I could work with you that, you know, I could develop that some more. So
good. And you've been really patient as we've gotten to this point at just, you said, can I brush her? Can I rub her? And it's like, just wait. We're going to get there. Just wait. And that gives me the time to help build it really strong to give you the best experience versus trying to manage it through. Like, see now, how nice is that? Mm-hmm. She's doing thoughtful and polite. Instead of her just doing that with me, she's doing that with you and going, hey, hey, rub me. Hey, I like you. Okay. It's very nice and soft. Okay. Hope you guys have enjoyed this process. We've waited a long time to get here. Big day, big achievement, and we'll keep setting up moving forward so that before she goes home, we hopefully get Devon on there and have her going for a ride. All right, I'm Jake. This is Devon with Remmy. We're at Pear Tree Ranch, and we'll see you next time.